Thank you for staying with us. Our last interview is around very interesting, developments when it comes to, this young man. Because for a long time, this country has always been talking about the need for young people to go out there and explore their talents, their creativity. And this young man, I think, speaks to that at that core. Arnold Nyendwa joins me as an award-winning inventor of the first stainless-driven stove. Great to have you on the program.
Thank you so much, Brian.
All right. For our viewers out there who are probably, hearing this for the very first time, take us through your innovation.
Okay. So I was born part of Eastern Province, Petauke to be specific. Mm-hmm. Attended my high school in Chipata, Chizongo Boys Technical Secondary School. Then moved to the Copper Belt. By then till somewhere 2018. So that's where my journey started from high school. Served in JETS as JETS president. Then that project picked it up from JETS and started going with it until developments from just a stove that I used in school to pick up scrap around school premises until finding a connection across South Africa for development in terms of product development from mild steel to stainless steel. So that has been the journey until early this year. We did also another project which is the first of its kind in Africa, the Juvin stainless steel stove in Asia that can be powered on 3 fuels. That's gas, electricity, and solid fuel. So that's been my journey.
All right.
Yes.
What triggered this innovation?
So in the beginning, if we go back, you remember in 2017, we had the problem with the energy deficit, the load shedding. That was to do with the power going for 8 hours. So I was thinking, seated in class and thinking that why can't we have something that would bridge in the gap in terms of most of the problems in homes has to do with cooking. And cooking, it has to do with somebody having energy before you go to work and do everything. So that just had to push me to say, I think I can do something. So in the beginning, before we arrived to this 3-in-1, I had to invent a stove that was only powered with solid fuel, but would do 7 things: cooking, baking, frying, roasting, and warming. So that's what triggered this. But of course, this also had to do with every time I would go back to my village, the time I would be in high school to visit, and I would see women cooking on firewood and the smoke. When I did also a study on that, I had to realize that it caused a number of infections to do with lungs and also their lifespan. So those, I think, were factors that really influenced me to go into this field.
All right. Yeah. When you talk to young people who have that talent to, come up with, masterpieces, so to speak, they'll tell you, look, there's no money in Zambia. Society doesn't seem to appreciate inventors and things of that sort. Did you face any challenges, when it comes to your innovation, and if any, how did you, manage to thrive despite those challenges?
So there are a number of challenges facing young people. I would say I'm so happy to be here today to speak about this, because today innovation is around the country. I'm not the only one doing innovation. There are a lot of young people doing so much amazing work, probably more than what I'm doing. But the problem has been, mostly in Africa, even in Zambia in the case, we like talking about things that don't matter. The things would rather talk about what the next person is doing or what they have probably bought, which won't help us at all. But the real things are not talked about. And also the other issue has to do with the support system is really poor. And we're glad that the new government just announced the new Ministry of Science and Technology. I think from there we need to see a number of issues, because when you talk about creativity, it has nothing sometimes to do with what experts know. We are practical people. It's about experiments, and you give it a proof out there. So it has nothing to do sometimes with what the expert knows. There are people sometimes in offices, they're seated, they think they know, they represent innovation, but they don't know nothing. They don't know what the young people are going through. They don't know the real things that are supposed to be done around innovation. So the creativity is there. It's around the country. It's everywhere on social media. Young people are doing it. but the real sense of being appreciated for, it's not there. And coming to the challenges has to do with finances, also has to do with sometimes how to get on the market. It's a bit difficult for the young people, and also the recognition part, because when you recognize something, there has to be a support system, not only in terms of financing. The young people are coming on board with lack of knowledge of sometimes the business environment, because most of the business that is in the country is trading. And when you talk about innovation, it's the highest level of business, it's the technology before the manufacturing comes through. So all those issues have to be looked at, and young people have to be engaged. But also the other challenge is that sometimes there is a lot of too much mentorship among young people, and young people are so much exhausted of being given so much knowledge that at the end of the day they can't even implement anymore. So all those are some of the few things young people are facing.
The introduction of the new ministry, around technology, I know that you've touched on a few of those expectations that you have with regards to the ministry. But what else can the ministry do to steer interest among young people, to become innovative, and also motivate young people like yourself who are walking the talk as far as innovations are concerned?
Okay. So innovation is already, it's a really a great industry right now in the country, because when we look back to 6 years ago, when we started seeing young inventors coming on board and showcasing their innovation, it wasn't the case as it is right now. So firstly, the ministry has to have an open mind and listen to the young people. Not only, sometimes there is that gap whereby they only have these people who are called experts, and they feel they can listen from those. There has to be an engagement, experts, and us who are doing the practical work, because this is not a ministry where you just do because you know something. It's really has to do with people who are practical. So the ministry has to listen, first of all. They have to be open-minded. Secondly, a few suggestions I would have for the ministry, it has to do with, there's a three-way system, which I'm calling a three-way system. You have the innovators, you have the governments who are policy makers, then you also have the private sector. So how it would work would be, the government has to put up a policy such that it's able to link the young inventors and innovators to the private sector for partnerships. For example, private equity. This also will benefit the private sector to be innovative and to be more sustainable, because also what's killing companies today is because companies are not innovative. They cannot bring new products on board. Look at even what Trade Kings is doing. Every time you see new products. So we're looking at having this connection. The private sector, the government, and the ministry, they should be able to engage these three and be able to create that environment that they should be able to partner.
All right.
Yes.
Somebody could be saying, look, you did belabor on the fact that there's so many challenges that young people have to grapple with out there as they try and become innovative. And yet you've got this very good stove, so to speak. Where did you find the resources to go this far in your innovation?
Okay, so as I said, my first vision, it's about passion. Sometimes once you have passion, it has to keep on you driving. Sometimes what makes young people to lose their focus along the way is the excitement that comes along with that. For example, some of the few things is the media. The media can make you lose track. You are getting a lot of attention from media and you think you have arrived. Secondly, you have to do maybe with the awards come through and you get excited, you lose your track. So in my case, the first version, I explained that I had to use scrap metals. Then from there, I got a little financing from my parents. I really had a good backing, but I had to make that sustainable because of the few units I sold. I started selling a few units, that investment I got from my parents. And from those small units, because people saw the passion I had, I started getting support from different people. Some I was privileged to have a supporting investment with R&D, with regards to R&D, research and development, with Southern Africa Stainless Steel Development Association in South Africa. And also when the awards started coming through, I would refinance on the product, work really perfectly on the product. So that was my formula.
So are you selling these stoves now?
So the stoves are ready. We sold quite a number of them previously. But
how many did you sell before this award came?
I've been doing this, I think, for this is like my 5th year.
All right.
So we have had 3 versions like in these 5 years. The first version was a mild steel version. The second version was a stainless steel version, but only single powered with solid fuel. But that I had to realize that it couldn't push out on the international market. It could only work for the Zambian market. So now, that's when now we made a move to go to China now to work on the 3-in-1, which we just finished this year in March.
You went to China?
Yes, a 3-in-1 gas, electricity and solid. We're making it also the first of its kind in Africa. 12 bolts and 12 nuts. You can dismantle it and move it also for outdoors. You don't have always to operate it in your indoors. So now the thing is, the launch will be done before the end of this year. We must have start having now the 3-in-1 because we just finished the product this year. We're just putting a few things in process here and there.
All right. As we wind up, we're pressed for time, but quickly, I know that you won the award, but also apart from that, how this innovation, how has it changed your life? How has it made you become reliant, so to speak?
Okay, the words. The awards have exposed me because close in the space of 5 years, I think I've had close to about 15 awards, most of them coming from outside US, UK. It has given me new exposure because it also allows me just to, when you win an award, people want to know who you are. One of them, I think, which opened a very big door was the Africa Genius Award, which we won alongside the Aliko Dangote. So that just helps you just to connect with new people. There's trust. People have trust,
as well.
Networking and just collaborations outside the world, outside the country.
All right. Nyendwa, I want to thank you very much for coming through and wish you the best of luck. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
All right. And at that particular point, we drop the ball for now because that's the end of today's edition of The Update. Up next on ZNBC TV1 is Lunch Break. My name is Brian Mulamba. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.